They got old. They got old and died. But first they composed plangent depictions of how much they lost. Poetry Out Loud is a competition where you recite poems and compete against kids all over the state. The stages of competition, you first start in your classroom level, and then you move on to the school-wide level, and then we went on to state. I was actually able to go to state every year of my high school career, so that was really cool. The judges look for how well you understand the poem, if they can tell by the way you're speaking and articulation. All of the poems that you can choose from are on the Poetry Out Loud website. Some of the things you have to look for your poems is one has to be pre-20th century, and then the other one has to be fewer than 25 lines. I just kind of choose by a lot of clicking the random poem button, and then my teachers also sometimes suggest poems too. Light, more light. The shadows deepen and my life is ebbing low. Throw the windows widely open. Light, more light before I go. Softly let the balmy sunshine play around my dying bed. Ere the dimly lighted valley, I with lonely feet must tread. I was very nervous before the first poem, but once I got the first one over with, I felt a lot better.
It gives me great pleasure to announce our 2019 North Dakota State Champion, Emily Gilsrud, Wahpeton High School.
Honestly, I kind of thought poetry was boring. I've just been able to find different kind of poetry, and not all of them are like rhymey, and they can be really interesting actually, and are able to explain emotions so well, and it's really cool. My advice for people would be just to step out of your comfort zone. If you're nervous about speaking in front of people, Poetry Out Loud will give you a lot of confidence. I've gained a lot of confidence performing in front of people, and it's been an amazing experience. She arrived at the country mansion in a silver limousine. She'd sent out invitations and everything. Her name written twice, with ampersand in the middle. The calligraphy of coupling. She strode down the aisle to At Last by Etta James, faced the celebrant like a keen soldier reporting for duty, her voice shaky, yet sure. Poetry Out Loud has been a huge part of my high school career, and I definitely encourage you all to just try out poetry. I'm so glad I did, and I've learned so much about speaking in front of people and also being able to analyze poetry a lot better. It'll definitely be with me for the rest of my life. Quite Frankly, by Mark Halliday, is about a couple that passed away, and this person's talking about their life, and he's like, okay, they died, but look at how many beautiful memories they have now in these photo albums. Quite Frankly, by Mark Halliday. They got old. They got old and died. But first they composed plangent depictions of how much they lost and how much cared about losing. Meantime, their hair got thin and more thin as their shoulders went slumpy. Okay, but not before the photo albums got arranged by them. Arranged with a niftiness. Not just 2 or 3, but 18 photo albums. Yes, 18 eventually. 18 albums proving the beauty of them and not someone else. Them and their relations and friends. Incontrovertible. Playing croquet in that Bloomington yard, floating on those comic inflatables at Dow Lake. Giggling at the Dairy Queen, waltzing at the wedding, building a Lego palace on the porch, holding the baby beside the rental truck, leaning on the Hemingway statue at Pamplona, discussing the eternity of art in that Sardinian restaurant. Yes. And so, quite frankly, at the end of the day, they got old and died. Okay, sure, but quite frankly, how much does that matter in view of the 18 photo albums, big ones, 13 inches by 12 inches, each full of such undeniable beauty?
Funded by the North Dakota Council on the Arts, the North Dakota Humanities Council, and by the members of Prairie Public.